Hi everyone, as we do my makeup today, we are going to be talking about what subliminals are as well as how to properly use subliminals. As someone that has been using subliminals for over 8 years now, and also I used to be a subliminal creator here on YouTube. I know the ins and outs, ups and downs, good experience, bad experience, so let's talk about it. Now, if you're not familiar with subliminals, you are probably like, no, these people are like crazy. Like, what are these people talking about? Like, how are they having glow ups, losing weight, changing appearance, making money, having successful relationships? What is going on? So let me explain how subliminals work. Subliminals are audio tracks that contain affirmations played at low volume, and you're usually masked by like music, frequencies, bilateral beats, or even just a mix of all those things. The affirmations are played at low volume to target your subconscious mind, because your mind is made up of two parts, your subconscious and conscious mind. Your conscious mind is the part of your mind you are aware of. You make your logical everyday decisions. However, your subconscious mind is the thing that holds your beliefs, your patterns, your behaviors, and things like that. It also can pick up on small background noises like the TV downstairs or the AC making noise. And it also is in control of your physical functions as well as you don't have to think to blink. You don't have to think to breathe. Your subconscious mind does that naturally for you. Now, you may wonder why subliminals are for your subconscious mind. It's because your subconscious mind doesn't argue and it doesn't judge what is going on. It just takes in and absorbs everything. Now, subliminals are actually backed up by neuroscience and psychology that show that the brain is constantly absorbing information even outside of conscious awareness. Background noises, background stuff, things like that. Now, if you're familiar with subliminals, you may have heard, you have to consistently listen to them. You may wonder why. Because your subconscious, the more your subconscious hears something, the more that it will accept it as being true. And that's when your thoughts, your behaviors, and even your biology will start to shift. Neuroplasticity is the brain's ability to change. That includes how we see ourselves and even how our body responds. Okay, finally, now that we got all that information out of the way, let's get into how to properly use subliminals. So the first thing you really have to do is set a clear intention of what subliminal do you want to use, and a subliminal that aligns with what you want. Now, a common question people ask is for those combo subliminals that say they're going to give you this, and that, and blah, 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 all these different affirmations for different things. You're like, what if I don't want to have blue eyes and stuff like that? You're only going to have what you want. So it doesn't matter if it says in the affirmations list that it's going to give you blue eyes and this, because you're only going to manifest what it is that you want. Now, there are hundreds of thousands of subliminals on YouTube, but you have to use your gut feeling and choose what subliminals are safe, because unfortunately not everyone has good intentions. I remember 2019, 2020, people were getting exposed for using negative affirmations. It was sick. People were trying to ruin people's mental health. People were saying they were having weird misfortunes, nightmares, all kinds of things like that. I remember this girl in this comment section was talking about how she got into a really bad car accident and was having weird misfortunes. Child, when I tell you I removed that freaking subliminal out of my playlist quick, I wasn't playing no games. And also just people use affirmations to make you addicted to their channel and stuff like that. Some of the affirmations they claim are in the video are not even in the video. It's just to make you addicted, to make you send them money and things like that. But that still didn't stop me. When it came to subliminals, I was a subliminal bop. I was listening to everybody's subliminals. I was just a bop for subliminals. Everyone.
Jesus Christ.
So I truly recommend that you kind of limit the amount of subliminals you listen to. Don't be listening to everybody like me, because things start to clash. That's when you get kind of too much. And your subconscious mind can only handle so much information at a time. Also, as someone that used to make subliminals, you have no idea how many layers of affirmations go into subliminals, especially those forced ones that say listen once and things like that. Because trust me, all you gotta do is listen once. It's gonna happen, okay? Because those ones will force your mind into the new beliefs. And trust me, you are likely to get a headache. But don't worry, just drink some water and listen the next day. But don't try to do too much. Now, what a lot of people talk about is to listen to them when you're in more of a relaxed state. So definitely meditate, listen overnight, things like that. Because when you're more in that relaxed state is when your subconscious mind is open to receiving more information and will really absorb the information you're giving it. Also, do not listen when you are operating heavy machinery, because some of them can make you really drowsy and things like that. So just be mindful of those things. Another tip I could give you is to kind of support your desire by doing it physically, if that makes sense. So what I mean by that is, if you're listening to a clear skin subliminal, listen while you're doing your skincare. If you're listening to like thickness subliminal or whatever, like, you know, desired body, listen while you're working out and stretching and things like that, because it'll really put your mind, like, number one, it kind of tricks your brain into realizing, oh, there's a change going on. If you're doing it physically and also hearing it subconsciously, it tricks your body into thinking, oh, there's like a change going on, like we have to change in order to align with this new version of us, align with this new body, align with this and that. So do that. It's like one of the best things you can do. I used to do it all the time. Now, some people like to complain and say, oh, I listened to this and it didn't work, nothing worked and stuff like that. It's all about belief. Like, I know it's so corny. When I first heard that and they're like, oh, just believe it'll work and then it will, I was like, yeah, goodbye. But you have to remember, that's even just with manifestation as well. You have to believe in things in order for them to happen. One of the biggest things we are taught, like universally with anything, with religion, things like that, is to believe and to have faith. And you have to do the same thing. And what do you really have to lose if you have faith that this subliminal will help you do this? Like, what do you really have to lose? Just do it. Now, something people fail to realize about subliminals is that it all has to do with your mindset and your belief system. As I mentioned, if we're being like realistic, everybody kind of has their thing of what they can manifest faster than other things based off how they see that thing and how they see themselves. Like, if we're really being real, okay? So just because someone says, you know, it took them like a year to see results doesn't mean it's going to take you a year. Like, don't be alarmed by other people's things, and don't be alarmed if people say it's not working. That's their mindset. It could take you a minute, it could take you an hour, it could take you 2 weeks, but it just doesn't matter what other people are saying. If they're saying they're not seeing results, that's their problem, okay? You can get it though. I personally think subliminals are fantastic for people that kind of have a hard time using emotion when they try to manifest things, because with subliminals, it's something, as I mentioned, it rewires and reprograms your brain over time. So you don't really have to put full focus on it. You don't have to put your whole energy, your whole heart and soul into what you're listening to, because I know I didn't. When I was first getting into it, I barely believed, and then things started to happen. Things started to shift within my mindset, and therefore I start to get better and better, if you know what I mean. Now, the people that think subliminals are bullshit and that it doesn't do anything, some people just like to say it's the placebo effect. Point is, I have my results, don't I? So I don't really care if it's placebo and if it's just, you know, some type of brainwashing shit. I don't care. Point is, I have it, right? So I'm gonna keep doing me. But yeah, I don't care. I don't really have much of an argument for that either. It's just like, whatever. Point is, I'm seeing results. If you're not, oh well. Like, sure, I get where you're coming from. You can just say, oh, the only reason why you have your desired body now is because you start to eat more, work out. But hello, it's a mindset. Like, that's the whole point of subliminals, is to rewire your mindset. Like, hello, you're missing the whole point. Like, it was so cool when I started gaining weight, and like I was saying things like, oh, I need to work out, I need to eat and do that. But those thoughts, all the reprogramming and stuff like that, became habitual thoughts. It became my mindset. So therefore I am the way that I am, physically, mentally, and things like that. One thing I want to mention before we get into like my results, as well as like who my favorite subliminal creators are, I have to mention that the people, like the subliminal creators that make those subliminals for like overnight ones, especially, that put a lot of ads in them, yeah, I don't trust them. Like, trust me, I understand everyone, you know, wants to get their coin. I'm never gonna disrespect the hustle. However, you're interrupting my meditation and putting all kind of other shit in my subconscious instead. Like, why am I able to recite ads? Because I've been hearing them every single night, you know what I mean? So be mindful of the creators that put too many ads in their videos, because oftentimes they don't really care, to be honest. But anyways, look at the makeup. Look at the makeup. Yeah, I'm like, it's okay. I hated the lips, but whatever. Okay, so here's me at 11, just now starting to listen to subliminals every single day. I used to cover up my face. I had very, very low self-esteem, things of that nature. You get the point, okay? Then boom, here's me a year later. I'm doing my little things to glow up a little bit, trying different things, putting more into my style and how I present myself. Did more to, like, you know, get rid of my hyperpigmentation, smile lines, things like that. Okay, and then bam, the subliminals I was listening to were making me mad confident. Like, I was starting to be a little bit more natural, not too crazy. Boom, this is when I was really starting to get more natural, when I was like 13, 14. this looks like it was taken yesterday. I look like me. And then I just started to elevate. This when I was like 15. Still was listening consistently. This is when I was definitely feeling myself. This is when I was in my era. And then when I was 15, oh, this is when I knew I was her. I'm gonna be honest, because I listened to a lot of subliminals at the time. I really stopped listening to subliminals around like 2023, but that was for no like real reason. I just had everything I wanted, and I don't really listen to subliminals much anymore. More just like audio rampages, and as well as at the time when I was making my own subliminals, I was listening to my subliminals more than anything, as well as like now I listen to like my own rampages and things like that. But yeah, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any suggestions, questions, please let me know in the comments. And yeah, bye.